Fees Must Fall was the struggle for free education. We said education must be free in terms of its content, that's one, and in terms of its monetary value. So when we say in terms of its content, we are saying what we are taught in class. It must be people's education for people's power. African problems, they deserve African solutions. We want an education that represented our being as Africans, our imaginations as Africans. That's the content part. Then we said it must also be free in terms of its monetary value. That when you go to school and you qualify, government must be able to fund your education. We even proposed something which was a free education tax that taxed the rich and fund higher education. So then there was a clarion call which was Fees Must Fall, which was a national call from all universities, shut down campuses, and we made our claims to be heard in government. And many people were brutalized. Many went to jail. I'm part of that generation that was jailed for 6 months for Fees Must Fall. Others, we lost them. Others, they suffered mental health. Others were expelled. But luckily, by 2017, Zuma declared free education, which we won that struggle. Unfortunately, Zuma was removed. Then Cyril came into power. Then he reversed the gains of our revolution. But many were brutalized. When you speak about free education and Fees Must Fall, even myself, police, they physically tormented me. When I was arrested in Westville prison, I was physically tormented. But it was for a good cause.
Did you ever feel some sort of regret?
No.
When you're in the prison cell for those 6 months?
No. In fact, if we could turn back the hands of time, I will do exactly what I've done. Remember, when there are many children, there are many young people I've met who said, Khanyile, I'm what I am today because of that struggle. Now I'm a doctor. Now I'm a lawyer. Now I'm a qualified nurse. Now I'm a teacher because of what you guys were in the forefront fighting for. Higher education is very expensive, Buddhism. Iyabiza education. For me at Vets, ngonyaka, I would spend close to 250,000, 200,000 a year, which means my 4-year degree of law at Vets could cost close to $1 million. Accommodation alone at Vets Junction, it's 110,000. Accommodation alone. Meals are close to 60,000, 80,000 meals. Then you have tuition fee. Then you have books. Then you have to pay for transportation from res to university. So a year you'll spend like almost 250,000. Now imagine a child from Nkandla that they survive on SASSA grant. So that is why we were very determined on our struggle for Fees Must Fall, because we said when the Freedom Charter was adopted, it said the doors of learning must be opened for all. When Mandela began his campaign in 94, he said free education for all. We still have that post. I will send you after this meeting. The post of 1994 when Mandela was campaigning free education for all. Mandela, in his speech, he says, education can be used as a tool to liberate the poor. Now, when you make education expensive, who's going to have access to it? The children of politicians and the children of the rich. Who are the rich? Because in South Africa, the economy has color. Even poverty has color. People who are poverty-stricken in South Africa, they are black. And people who are extremely wealthy and rich, they are white. Now, if you say education can be used as a tool to liberate the poor, yet you make it expensive so that only the rich can have access to it, then it means the rich gets more richer and the poor gets more poor. So as part of redress, we said education must be free. We must not look at you, how much do you have in your bank balance, but it must be how much intellectually grounded are you for you to access higher education, so that we can reverse the previously imbalances of the past, which were created by apartheid era and colonialism through education. It must not be that a child of Minel can only be a graduate of law at Wits and be a graduate of medical school at Wits. Also the child of Skukune that comes from a Rondoville where there's no tar road must be able to have access to Wits, to UCT, to UP, the previously white universities. We must not be subject of the University of Zululand, University of Venda. We want to go where there are resources, where education is cream de la cream. You know, Wits, they always prided themselves as being Harvard of Africa. And through Fees Must Fall, we're able to put the poorest of the poor to go to Wits, who are academically qualifying through that revolution. So we were determined. So there was no issue of saying now, because of that struggle, I can regret. I don't regret till today. I don't regret. If were to repeat it, I will still be in the forefront and do even worse what I've done before.